Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another People and Places. I'm Dan Roberts, the publisher of The Vegas Voice, and our job is to introduce you to all the wonderful people and the fantastic places that make Las Vegas so special. We have a great example of that today because I'm very lucky to be joined by Janet Hartley, who is the chapter chair,
yes,
as well as Stephen Sawyer, who is the workshop chair, and I was told you're the volunteer extraordinaire
absolutely.
of SCORE.
Too kind to say that, yes.
So, first of all, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
inviting us, Dan.
Tell us about SCORE. What is it and what does it do?
SCORE is a national nonprofit organization. We were started in 1964 under the auspices of the SBA, the Small Business Administration. And our mission is to help people who are trying to start or grow their own small business. We do that in a couple of ways. The most important way we do it is to meet with them one-on-one in a confidential setting and answer whatever questions they may have, whether it's getting a business up and running, whether it's navigating the system of licensing in the state of Nevada. We have information that will be helpful for them in that regard. Now, we are staffed entirely by volunteers. All of our volunteers have previous business experience. And if you look at our organization nationwide with 10,000 volunteers, we probably represent every kind of business that you could possibly think of.
Yeah, that's really quite amazing. And yet, until it gets well known, and again, I've heard of SCORE. And matter of fact, when we started the magazine, we met with somebody from SCORE to help us. What type of person would come to you for help? I mean, is it a person that has no clue what's going on? Do they think they're experts until they speak with you? I mean, how do you even break down to figure out what they really need?
We have all sorts of folks come to talk to us. Many of the folks that we see are first-timers. It's their first time in starting a business. They hear about SCORE, they find us on the internet,
Right.
They're referred by a friend or a family member who has heard about SCORE or who has used SCORE services in the past, and they're a little timid. They're not sure what this organization is, and are we going to charge them money,
Right, yeah.
or are we going to ask them to do something that's intimidating? And of course, none of that applies.
Right.
Our services are entirely free. As a nonprofit organization staffed entirely by volunteers, we look to the community for our financial resources.
And yet, they'll be asking you questions about, I want to start a business, over really from A to Z, everything you can imagine, I assume.
Yes. Many times people will come to us and say, I need to start a business, I need a business license. How do I do that? How do I get a business license? And we say, no, that's not the place to start.
Right.
We would like you to start by thinking about what is the need that you're fulfilling for your customers? What is the problem that you're solving for your customers? Are you finding a legitimate need or a problem that you have a solution to? Because then customers are going to be interested in what you want to sell.
And is that like the first question you would ask them? Or, I mean, unfortunately, everything depends upon capitalization, whether they have money. How do you go about telling them, listen, how much money do you have put away? And they say, well, I got $200. And you must break their hearts when you say, you're not even close, if it comes down to that.
I never say that. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not where we start. You start by trying to get to know your client. Who are they? What's their background? Why is it they're interested in starting a business? Have they ever been in business before? Do they have a particular educational background? What work have they done in the past? What has led them to this idea of starting their own business? So in any conversation, you try and establish a rapport and understand who is this person. And we're looking to help the person.
Yes, I mean, that's really the best part, even though they might think you're being antagonistic if you go, well, wait a minute, what do you have planned and everything, as opposed to, wait, I know what I'm doing. I'm just coming to you for maybe, I don't know, maybe how do I get a loan or how do I do something like that? But it really is a lot more than that.
Yes, if they do have a very specific question. I've done several things. I've done my research. I know what I want to do, but I went on Silver Flume to get my business license, and it confused the dickens out of me. Could you walk me through how to do that? And that's something we're happy to do.
Right.
it's a very helpful portal that the Secretary of State has set up for people to register
Yeah.
and license their business. A lot of work went into it. And if you've done it once or twice before, it's quite transparent.
Yeah. Right.
If you've never done it before, you look at it and say, gee,
Oh my God.
what are they looking for?
Yeah.
So it seems daunting. It really isn't.
And Janet, I know you've been there for 17, 18 years or something like that. You must get a tremendous amount of satisfaction in people coming to you and you're able to help them start their business.
Well, I think I would like to echo what Stephen said. I think really it's been a mission for myself as well as for many of the mentors at SCORE. We want to give back to the community. And as a small business owner, there's so many things that the small business owner, as Stephen said, doesn't know what to do. And usually what they want to do is they want to go in the middle before building the house.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to teach them a good foundation. We're trying to teach them this is what you need to do to start with this. And then just like you said, some clients say, well, why are you asking me all these questions? I just want to go to Silver Flume, or I just want to do this. And we try to drag it out of them. What do you really want to do? What's the end result? And it does give me great solace to know that I'm helping business clients, that I'm helping the community. And as we mentioned, Silver Flume, through Business and Industry State of Nevada, they have a roadmap. And that roadmap really helps the client walk through many of the products, services that we offer. And we also work with communities. We work with the SBA, which actually is kind of our parent company, if we wanted to call it that. And then we have the WBC, which is Women's Business Center, and as well as SBDC, which is Small Business Development. And so all of these partners that work with SCORE and our mentors and volunteers is really what matters.
You know, and before we started, you gave me a listing of all these numbers, of all the volunteers, all the businesses you help. And the numbers are just staggering, but behind every number, there's a person.
Yes.
And I assume that person has a dream. This is what they really want to do. They're not doing this as a lark. Again, tremendous satisfaction, but is there a typical person that would come to you and say, okay, this is my problem, or is it all over the map?
I think it's all over the map, wouldn't you say?
There is a tremendous variety. Just recently, we were involved in serving the community at Nellis by delivering an educational program that's called Boots to Business.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a program that has, we'll call it 8 separate classes that walk you through all of the things you need to think about when starting your own small business. So the Department of Defense has mandated that transitioning military members who are leaving the service get some education on what it means to resume their
Civilian life, yeah.
non-military life, their civilian life. So that's one of the things that we offer. It's an actual educational program that talks about all of the different things that you would need to do.
What about the people that are starting up? They want to start a new business. Are they Generation X? Are they Generation Z? Are they senior citizens? Are they in between? I mean, is there a typical person?
Okay. I think I can answer this one because it was during COVID. I think they were Gen X. I think they were millennials. I think they were a lot of baby boomers that were displaced because of COVID. They either didn't go back to their job or they wanted to follow their dream and they got a severance package.
Right.
And they said, okay, you know what? I've always wanted to do this hobby store and I want to open it in my garage. And you know what? Somebody told me about SCORE. And you know, what are you guys doing? Because I need to have some free advice, but I need to have sound advice. And then you have the other person who women are quite dynamic. If you look at our numbers, we've really serviced a lot of women, not only through the military side for Stephen's Boots to Business, but as well as women in general. We really represent a very large piece, especially during COVID, that went out. Women basically left their jobs to go fulfill their dream. And so, again, they've made Gen X, millennial, baby boomers, we're just across the board.
And what about your volunteers? Are they elderly? Are they middle-aged? Or are they people who would live in Sun Cities? Because I assume you might find a whole bunch of them that are retired, that have all this wealth of knowledge, and nobody's ever asked them.
When the organization first started, it was focused on volunteers who were retired,
Right.
who had the time and who had the expertise that could help other folks start businesses. As time has gone by, we want to broaden our volunteer base. So we look for people who are not yet retired and who are perhaps a little more current with the technology that's going on in business now. And so we're looking for volunteers that are younger. The difficulty is that people who are in their prime working years focus on that.
Sure.
They don't have as much time to devote to volunteer work, and perhaps they can't spend quite as much time helping clients that come to us. But we love to have volunteers.
Oh, I can imagine.
Who are younger volunteers.
And you know, to just add, because we live in a senior retirement community, we're also looking for seniors that maybe just relocated here, maybe just left their job maybe a year or so ago. They're still fresh out of the market in where they still know about the technology and business sense. And then also too, a lot of times when seniors, and I can speak for half of our members, they really wanted to keep busy and they wanted to keep their mind busy and not just to, you know, not just do crochet and just go sit in a corner with the kids. And again, we all love our kids and we love it, but
Most
to
of the time,
really,
yeah.
most of the time. But it's really giving back, and I think that a lot of seniors have so much to give, and I think they would really enjoy our program.
Well, again, in the few moments that we have left, if people want more information about SCORE, how to contact you, how to volunteer, et cetera, maybe even ask you for some help, how do they go about doing it?
Two ways to
Go ahead.
contact us. If you want to go to our website, it is lasvegas.score.org. By phone, you can reach us at 702-388-6104. And we have receptionists manning the phones during business work hours and can answer any questions and direct people in the right place.
And you can ask for me. I'm Janet Hartley. I'm actually the intake volunteer coordinator as well, and that was what I did before coming chair. And so if you'd like to contact me directly, as Stephen mentioned the website, please ask for me, or if you'd like to leave a message on our phone. We're always looking for great volunteers, just like Stephen and just like many of our other mentors.
Well, again, I thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best, and I'm sure myself and everybody else recognize just what a great organization you have to help people. So again, I thank you so much, and this is Dan Roberts for People and Places saying we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.